I don't know why people are so outraged. I don't know why people are so outraged at the African National Congress and failing to pay one of their service providers. I mean, this is an ANC classic behavior. This is how the ANC operates. If you really think about it, in our neighborhoods, we have these companies, these small companies that we don't know where they come from. If you have been paying attention, you know that we have so many small companies in our neighborhoods, and these companies are quote unquote providing the services that were supposed to be provided by the African National Congress government. These companies are in our neighborhoods doing the sewage systems, they are in our neighborhoods doing the construction, doing the waste management and all sorts of things. And most of these services were supposed to be provided by the government. But for some reason, these services are no longer provided by the government, they are provided by these companies. And these companies are scoring major contracts with the government. The scandal that comes with that is that these companies would score major contracts with the government. And what would happen is that they would hire people to do certain tasks. And once people are done, the same companies would fail to pay the people. So all of these things are linked with African National Congress because, people have been saying there's a word on the street. There's a word on the street that the comrades are the ones owning these companies. So this is an ANC classic behavior. I am not surprised that even after the courts have told the African National Congress that, man, you need to pay these guys, you have a binding contract with them. You had a binding contract with these companies. Now you have to pay them. You are working all around. Now the African National Congress is saying they are taking the matter to the Constitutional Court because they've lost everywhere. They simply don't want to pay these people after these people have provided the services. This is a classic ANC behavior. I am not surprised. This is how the ANC has chosen to behave. But anyway, Sabc did an interesting interview with the spokesperson of the African National Congress, Mahlengi Mutsiri, to speak about this whole thing of the African National Congress and this company that provided the banners and other election campaign material for the African National Congress in 2019. Man, this interview this interview is so nice because you can see the anchor is asking relevant questions. So guys, without me giving out more details, let's see how the interview went. This was a classic,
SABC
man.
News reporter Samkelo Maseko joins us now from Luthuli House, where the ANC early on briefed the media on various issues. Samkelo, good afternoon. At this point, perhaps you could just take us through the gist of the media briefing and really what transpired.
Well, Liesel, at this point in time, the spokesperson of the African National Congress, Mahlengi Mutsiri, essentially outlining that the deputy sheriff coming here to Luthuli House was unlawful, as there was a mail communication between the legal team of Luthuli House and Ezulwini on Friday to say that they must hold up on having the sheriff coming to seize the assets of Luthuli House, as they have approached the Constitutional Court on a matter of principle to challenge this debt of 150 million. The ANC has also said that they have laid criminal charges against those Luthuli House employees who flouted procurement processes of the ANC within the supply chain management system of the governing party. But we also do know that this historical contracting of Ezulwini dates back to the days of the late Ignatius Jacobs, when he was the general manager of Luthuli House. Then head of elections was Figile Vuta Mbalula, the now Secretary General of the ANC, who is fully abreast with the particular matters of Ezulwini dating back to when he was head of elections. But they did have their officials meeting earlier on today in Sandton. Subsequent to that, they had their National Working Committee meeting, which I'm not yet sure if it's concluded or is still ongoing. But we are joined by the spokesperson of the ANC, Ms. Mahlengi Mutsiri, just the essence of what transpired with the sheriff or the deputy sheriff coming here to Luthuli House to see some of the assets. What happened in the morning?
Well, I think you have summed it up, Samkelo. The deputy sheriff should not have been here. We are not certain of the reasons behind creating such a spectacle when the ANC had already communicated formally that it has approached the Constitutional Court It is very curious, as we say in our statement, as to why the deputy sheriff was here. In a correspondence between our legal manager with the sheriff, a verbal apology was transmitted to the ANC. But I did, on behalf of the Secretary General, request that we do have a formal apology because this was quite serious. We had members of the media here for something that should not have happened. Because if you look at the Superior Court's Act of 2013 is very specific in Section 18 and Section 49 about what you do under circumstances where there's been appeal to a higher court of the land.
Why don't you just settle this 150 minutes debt? I mean, your president is a billionaire. He was caught with money and pala in dollars. Your deputy president is also financially afloat. As you can see, he's got a 37 million rand house in Waterfall. Leaders of the ANC were flaunting Dolce & Gabbana in France in the form of the Secretary General. You've got ANC former leaders who are filthy rich in this country whom should be chipping in to help you fit this bill. Why are they not?
Well, you're conflating issues there, Samkelo.
How is he conflating issues? Because why are you taking this company all around to the court? The judges have already told you, man, that you don't have a case here, that you have a binding contract with these people. Why don't you just pay them so that this whole thing can be, put aside? You don't want to pay this company. Now this company is dragging you to court because you don't want to pay them. You have all of these comrades that are filthy rich. Why are they not helping the party? And Samkelo Maseko is telling the truth, man. How much money was found in president mattresses? How much? All of the ANC comrades are filthy rich. Why are they not chipping in to help the party so that they can resolve this whole matter? This is a relevant question. Man, I wish more journalists can do interviews like this. When you're an average South African watching the news and you hear a journalist asking a question like this, man, you say, this is my guy. This is the same question that I would ask these people. Why are these comrades that are filthy rich, why are they not helping and chipping so that the party can get this matter done? It is a brilliant question, man. And shout out to Samkelo Maseko, because this is how these comrades should be treated. These people are used to softball questions. They are used to being coddled around on the interviews. They are used to not being challenged on the interviews. This is why she's so comfortable going on a national television, knowing very well that the African National Congress owes this company. Why is she there speaking and telling people that, man, this company shouldn't have bought the sheriff here and all of these things? You know very well that you owe this company. Why don't you pay these people? These people have incurred debt helping the African National Congress in 2019. Why are you not paying them? No, they don't want to pay them. The comrades are filthy rich. Why are they not helping the party?
To a higher court of the land.
Why don't you just settle this 150 minutes debt? I mean, your president is a billionaire. He was caught with money and pala in dollars. Your deputy president is also financially afloat. As you can see, he's got a 37 million rand house in Waterfall. Leaders of the
And guys, just imagine, man, if this is true, the deputy president has a mansion that costs 37 million rand. How do these people sleep at night, man? How do these people sleep at night? Knowing very well that South Africans can barely survive. Just imagine living in a 30 million rand house and you are supposed to be a public servant. You are not even working for your money. These people are doing nothing for their money. What is it exactly they are doing for their money? Because if they were doing something for their money, the country would be in a better position. But the country is not on a better position. So these guys are doing nothing for their money. And what is it exactly that the public servant can do to live in a house that costs 30 million rands? I know he is not the only comrades. All of these comrades, I think 99.9% of all of these comrades, they live in nice houses. What is it that they have done so that they can live in those houses? They didn't earn living in those houses. That's why I'm saying, how do these people sleep at night? You look at how South Africans live. You look at the poverty in the country. You look at the fact that people cannot even find employment, but you are living in a 30 million rand house, living comfortably, while the people cannot even barely survive. Man, that's what I'm saying. I honestly believe that South Africans haven't had enough. You know, when I was watching Penuel and the other guy, Tebogo Kibini, the other day talking about this whole thing that, man, maybe South Africans were not oppressed enough. This is what these people said. I was frustrated and angry that how can you say something so terrible? But when you look at the situation, when you look at the fact that we have comrades living the most opulent life while the citizens of the country are poor, is that maybe the people were not oppressed enough. Maybe the people haven't had enough. What is it exactly that? When is it exactly that when people are? When is it exactly when people are going to say enough is enough? We are sick and tired of these people living the most opulent life while people are suffering on the ground. People cannot survive right now on the ground. These comrades are shameless, man. I would be shameless, man, as a public servant, living in a mansion when people cannot even find employment. Man, I would be ashamed of myself, because I would know that, man, I didn't earn this money. These people are not working for big companies. They are not the CEOs of big companies. They are earning more than the CEOs of the companies that are employing the people. These people are earning more money than the CEOs of companies that are actually employing people. But these people are public servants. How is it possible? How is it possible? As a public servant, how can you earn so much money? So much money, even you earn more than you even earn more than a CEO of a company that is actually employing people. How is it possible? This country is a movie, man.
ANC were flaunting Dolce and Gabbana in France in the form of the Secretary General. You've got ANC former leaders who are filthy rich in this country, whom should be chipping in to help you fit this bill. Why are they not?
Well, you're conflating issues there, Samkelo. Totally conflating issues that are unrelated. Phala has got nothing to do with the fact that the ANC has got to have a sound financial governance architecture. Part of that means procurement policies that we have adopted have got to be followed to the T, and we're being dutiful to that. It's a matter of principle. It has less to do with whether we have the money or not.
ANC talking about principle.
If you speak about a matter of principle, but they were legally signed papers by Ignatius Jacobs, supposedly also by Fikile Mbalula on this particular matter, you have lost at the Supreme Court of Appeals. You've got to have compelling reasons to be able to gain direct access to the Constitutional Court on this matter. Do you think you will be given that direct access? And should you not be given that direct access, what do you then do?
Well, we are approaching the Constitutional Court because it's a right that we can exercise, like any other South African and like any other party. But we're not beholden to the outcome of the Constitutional Court. We will have to exercise a number of other options, a number of them that are available.
Meaning we will do anything in our power to avoid paying these people. We will do anything in our power. I mean, guys, if the ANC can do something so bad, man, don't these people think that there are companies looking to invest into South Africa and seeing how ANC operates? And these people are saying, no, man, we cannot invest our money in this country. The ruling party in that country, man, they will literally steal your money. The ruling country in that party, in that country, they cannot even stick to their contract. What does it say about South Africa? Because I think the ANC has taken this matter so lightly. They don't think that there are companies from outside looking to invest into South Africa and seeing how the ANC operates with service providers. What do you think these people are saying in the meetings? Do you think these people are so enthusiastic about investing into South Africa? How can you invest into South Africa when a ruling party cannot even stick to its contract? You can't. You can't. Are we surprised that companies are pulling out in South Africa? I'm not. I'm not. This thing is actually hurting the country. But I don't think these people are aware that what they are doing right now, it is actually hurting the country.
Exercise, like any other South African and like any other party. But we're not beholden to the outcome of the Constitutional Court. We will have to exercise a number of other options, a number of them that are available. I do, though, want to assure members of the ANC in particular and supporters of the ANC across the length and breadth of our country that this organization is not going to be liquidated by any stretch.
But if you speak about this organization not being liquidated, the last time the ANC had a healthy bank balance was when the late struggle stalwart Bamende Msimang delivered his financial report in the 2007 Polokwane conference. Subsequent to that, 2012, Mangawuk, Matthews Posa it was not so good. It was not such a rosy picture, despite them being able to pay salaries. From Zweli Mkhize to Paul Mashatile, it was just a downward spiral from there.
I can only speak about what I do know, what the ANC is currently doing under the leadership and the stewardship of our Treasurer General, Dr. Gwen Ramokgopa. We have actually put out our TG to explain the work that she is doing on behalf of the organization to make sure that there is financial sustainability. We are absolutely satisfied with the work that she is doing, and we believe that a whole lot more is still coming. So I'm certain that the statement I'm making is informed by the current financial reports that we receive on a regular, quite comfortable with the support that we have both here and elsewhere.
But when you look and saying that you are financially afloat, just this weekend's papers spoke about an organization that's in the red, that may not have the financial muscle to fight an all-important election where you are at your weakest in history.
And I noted that same publication.
And guys, how do you think the ANC is going to get money to fund the election campaign in 2024? How do you think the ANC is going to get their money? I've heard people accuse ANC of so many things when it comes to this whole thing. Because word on the street, word on the street is that the African National Congress is broke. They can't even pay their staff. So where are they going to find the money to finance their campaign in 2024? That is my question to you guys.
That may not have the financial muscle to fight an all-important election where you are at your weakest in history.
And I noted that same publication used statistics or data from the previous financial year. So that's something for you to think about. We can say that fast forward, some great work has been done.
Can I challenge you to give the SABC direct access to those financials of this financial year to see that you are indeed financially afloat? Because you can't just take your word for it without seeing tangible proof.
Well, I would suppose that you would have to ask of that from all the other political parties. This expectation that the ANC must be the only
Why are you not answering the question? You are not answering the question. Can you give the ANC can you give the ANC the books? Can you give the SABC the books so that they can confirm that you have money? Now you are talking about this thing should be applied to all of the political parties. No, we are talking about the ANC right now. Why can't you simply provide? And man, this interview, man, I'm going to say shout out to Samkelo Maseko for actually holding his own. This is how people want to see interviews. This is how. You can see this lady on her face, man. She was not expecting all of these questions. She was not. You can see that deep in her mind, she's saying that, man, I wish this interview could end right now. This guy is literally killing me live on national television. This is how interviews are supposed to be done, guys. We cannot allow these people to go around destroying our country and not being held accountable to anything. Just imagine, man, if all of the journalists in South Africa would handle the interviews in this way. Just imagine if the journalists in the country would actually ask questions that people want to hear the answers from. We are so sick and tired of all of these staged interviews. This is why right now when you see online, even mostly on YouTube, you can see a lot of political channels are actually going up. It's because people are sick and tired of what they are seeing on the mainstream media. People are sick and tired of the nonsense they are seeing on mainstream media. And I think on SABC, they can see too that, guys, we cannot continue going like this. We need to approach like these guys who are doing it on YouTube. These guys are straight shooters. We need to be straight shooters too. This is why I'm going to say again, a shout out to the SABC, man. This is how interviews are supposed to be done. This is how comrades are supposed to be cornered. These people are not supposed to be given softball questions and being coddled all over the interviews. These people are supposed to be held accountable. Man, I wish all of the channels, especially the mainstream channels, would actually take this matter, take this approach and interview comrades in this matter. Man, I'm telling you, not everyone would be a politician in South Africa. Because I think one of the reasons is because people know that even if I start a political party today, no one is going to hold me accountable of anything. I can say anything I want. No one is going to hold me accountable of anything. Because we don't have the media that is actually capable of holding politicians accountable. This is why it's so easy for them to start political parties. Man, do you think if someone like Ace Magashule, do you think if Ace Magashule knew of the kind of the media that we have, do you think that if we had this kind of media before Ace Magashule actually opened a political party, do you think the man would have still opened a political party? No. Most of these guys who have political parties today, they wouldn't have political parties because they would know that, man, the media is so strong. You're going to open a political party, you better be ready for all the million questions that are going to come. But because they know in South Africa, man, we don't have a media. We have people who are literally spewing narratives of certain political parties. This is why it's so easy for them to have political parties. This is why people go around saying whatever they want to say without being held accountable of anything. You remember last time when Gayton Mackenzie visited SABC and when he was talking about the mass deportations, and Sizwe Mpofu said that, man, we understand that the Patriotic Alliance is pushing for mass deportation of illegal immigrants into South Africa. How is Patriotic Alliance is going to do that? In details. Gayton Mackenzie couldn't answer that. He was all over the place because they are not used to being asked about details. They are not used to being questioned about their policies or whatever they talk about all over social media or on their campaigns. They are not used to that. So if we could have this kind of media, man, I'm telling you, we would get these people in correct, man. You know, if you're a political party and you're going to appoint someone to be the spokesperson of a party, man, you better make sure that the person you're going to choose as a spokesperson of the party is someone who can actually present the party. Because if you get someone who can even represent the party, man, the media is going to make sure that you regret putting that person in power. But what we see today, man, it's a shame. It is a shame. It is a shame, man. In South Africa, we have a low quality of everything. We have a low quality of media. We have a low quality of politicians. This is why I don't see solutions coming anytime soon, man. Especially from politicians. The fact that we are relying on a political system to fix our solutions, man, it is a shame. The political system is not going to help South Africa fix its problems. Having these kind of people in power will not help South Africa to fix its problems. Because these people cannot even understand that if the ANC is on the news for failing to pay one of their service providers and for still refusing to pay one of their service providers, it is actually giving South Africa a bad name. Because the investors might want to invest into South Africa, but they will say, no, we cannot even do business in South Africa. Because the ruling party it's a party of thugs. These people, I don't think they are aware that what they are doing right now, it is actually hurting South Africa. If they are aware, they don't care.
Tangible proof.
Well, I would suppose that you would have to ask of that from all the other political parties. This expectation that the ANC must be the only political party that discloses all of its internal matters must also be tested.
The ANC is a ruling party. The ANC is a ruling party. We cannot treat the ANC the same way we treat the DA or the same way we treat the EFF. We cannot do that. The ANC is a ruling party. So the criticism will always be more when it comes to the African National Congress. The expectations will always be more when it comes to the African National Congress. The African National Congress cannot sit around and tell me that they want to be treated like an opposition party. If you cannot stand the heat, get out. Get out. We are talking about the African National Congress, the party that is running South Africa. We are not talking about opposition parties. We are not talking about EFF and Julius Malema making noise all over the place. We are not talking about that. We are talking about people who are actually running the country. If you run the country, man, everything is going to be expected from the party.
I mean, the DA just received 37 million rands worth of donations, which is declared to the IEC recently, which says that they are sustainably afloat, better now than they were doing in the days of Musimaimani.
And of course, there are also a number of opiners that talk about the amounts and volumes of cash that flows in the direction of the DA. That is that 37 million that you're talking about is minuscule. It's actually, I don't know, peanuts compared to the kind of funding levels that is received. And I don't want to talk about the DA here because our strategy is all about positive messaging.
Well, I want to talk about the DA because if the DA is getting so much money, what is it exactly that the DA is doing with all of this money? Because the DA is sleeping. What is it exactly that the DA is doing with all of these funds? Because the party is sleeping. It's almost as if the DA is non-existent right now. We are going into 2024 elections, man. All the parties are trying to make noise. People are trying to campaign. People are doing rallies. People are doing conferences. People are all over the place trying to market their parties, man. You can even see right now, we already have the banners in our polls, in our neighborhoods. But where is the DA? Why is the DA sitting at the back, allowing the ANC and the EFF to do as they please? The DA, man, it's almost as if the DA is the third or fourth largest party in South Africa. This is why, not so long ago, I said that if you were not aware of the numbers in the country, you would think that the biggest party in South Africa is ANC, followed by the EFF, then the DA, because the DA is nowhere to be found. We are going into 2024 elections. And these people, whenever they decide to speak to the media, they always talk about the DA will be the ruling party in 2024. Man, how are you even going to be the ruling party in 2024 when you are not even part of a conversation right now going into 2024? I can bet right now people are talking more about Action SA, people are talking more about Patriotic Alliance, people are talking more about the EFF than the DA. So what is it exactly that the DA is doing with all of this money that is getting? I don't know what is wrong with that party, man. That party needs to wake up. This is not the time to be silent. I don't know what the DA thinks, but right now this is not the time to be silent. Man, the party should be out there. The party should be out there, man. They should be doing the conferences, man. They should be on the neighborhoods. They should come to the townships, and they should explain to the people that, guys, this is not how you're supposed to live. This is not how you're supposed to live. We understand that we are not the best in the Western Cape. We understand that we are not perfect in the Western Cape, but we are better than all of these other provinces. You can take us with our imperfections, but we are better than all of these guys all over South Africa. This is not the message that the DA is pushing forward. And these are facts. Whether people say whatever they want to say about the Cape Town, man, I can say whatever that I want to say. I can sit here and tell you about the crime that is taking place in the Western Cape. But at the same time, which other province that is doing exactly what the Western Cape is doing in terms of money economically? No other province in South Africa comes close to Western Cape. So whatever they do, with their imperfections, they are governing better than other provinces. The DA is not pushing that message. I don't know where the hell is that party. When are they going to wake up and understand that we are going into 2024? They are literally fighting for their existence right now because they are not even part of the conversation in South Africa right now. So where the hell is that party?
Lastly, just your response to the former outgoing chairman of First Rand Bank, Mr. Jardine, who is supposedly being quoted by the Democratic Alliance and the Multi-Party Charter to be the presidential candidate, knowing that he comes from the ranks of the Congress movement and the United Democratic Front.
Well, I don't have a message to him. We note what is said to be unfolding. I also personally know Comrade Roger Jardine, but if he has made certain choices in accordance with the Bill of Rights and the Constitution of South Africa, we have to accept that, and we will find each other, we will meet each other on the ground, in the battlefield.
But, this is a matter of, it's a very important question, and it speaks to the conscience of those 80 directly elected NEC members and ex-officio members from the leagues and also from the provinces. When you look at the leaders and the type of leaders that sit in that National Executive Committee of the ANC, and you look at their personal wealth, you look at former leaders of the ANC and their personal wealth, and you look at how their very same party that supposedly made them those millionaires and those billionaires, what do you think their conscience says to them when it can't pay a bill of 150 million rands, knowing that they sit comfortably where they are? In isiZulu we say badli zambane likapondo.
They don't care. The comrades care about no one, man. They don't even care about the party. Samkelo Maseko, man, this is a perfect question. We have all of these cadres that are filthy rich. They cannot even help the party. They are filthy rich. They are billionaires. These people, man, have been stealing from South Africa, man, for over 30 years. They are filthy rich. Why are they not helping the party? They don't care about the party. They don't care. If these people really cared about the African National Congress and the brand of the African National Congress, man, they wouldn't commit all of these crimes under the African National Congress. Today, the African National Congress is seen as a criminal organization because of what the cadres have been done. Man, from our townships, from the municipalities, from the councillors, from the municipalities going up to provincial, we know what the cadres are doing. So they don't care about the African National Congress. They don't care about the brand of the African National Congress. This is the same thing that Thabo Mbeki was talking about, that people today, they join the African National Congress not because they want to help other people in South Africa, not because they are patriots who want to help South Africa. They are joining the African National Congress because they think the African National Congress is a quick gravy train. This is what Thabo Mbeki said, that it is shameful that the African National Congress has allowed individuals with the dubious characters to be the members of the African National Congress. These people, they don't care about the ANC. They simply want to be the members of the African National Congress so that they can get the chance maybe to steal or maybe to steal something. This is what Thabo Mbeki was talking about. They don't care about the African National Congress. All of these people, man, under the African National Congress for the past 30 years, they don't care about the party. The fact that these people have become millionaires and billionaires while the country became poor shows you that they don't care about the country. They don't even care about the African National Congress, and the fact that they are doing all of these things under the African National Congress. They don't care.
But what fed them is struggling.
Well, you're taking me back to my earlier response, Samkelo, and I'm not going to go into that particular discussion or that particular trajectory. But I do want to say also Roger Jardine is a direct beneficiary of the policies of the African National Congress and the struggles of the African National Congress, he himself having been a contributor to that struggle, but has benefited a lot in terms of, you look at his traction in the private sector. There are many. It's not only those that are within the ANC. But I wouldn't want to venture into that kind of conversation because for me it deflects attention from the real issues we should be facing in terms of renewing the organization and renewing society.
Thank you very much. That is the spokesperson of the ANC, essentially saying that they are on top of this matter. They are going to the Constitutional Court on a matter of principle, and that the deputy sheriff should have not come to Luthuli House because they did communicate with the sheriff's office and they did communicate with the legal team of Ezulwini, saying that they must hold off as they have applied for direct access to the Constitutional Court to challenge this particular matter, Lizo.
All right,
Man, shout out to Samkelo Maseko, man. That was an amazing interview, man. I wish I could see more interviews like that. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button. And the most important part, guys, is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.